All right, so welcome to the second episode of the We Still Don't Have a Name for It podcast. Today,
Soon.
yeah, soon. Um, Today it's gonna be just myself and Josh,
What's going on, everybody?
and I think primarily today we're gonna focus on the UFC event that happened tonight, which was UFC 241, and I don't know. It was a pretty good event. I mainly paid attention to the last three fights. I did see the fourth to last fight, but I don't really remember what happened. Oh, it was like Derek Brunson and someone. I think that was just the fourth to last. It was a pretty good fight. Derek Brunson handled what he needed to do. Josh didn't really watch that fight,
Nah, I didn't see that one too much. I got a
but
little
yeah.
bit of the end of it.
But like we'll get to that UFC event in a minute. First, let's just update between last time we talked on the show here. I think it hasn't been a week yet, but it's been about like 5 days. I think.
Yeah, it's been it's yeah. I think
It-
tomorrow will be a week. So no, it's
okay,
been 6. So yeah, it's almost.
okay, yeah. So it's been pretty much a week. In the past week, I got a little sick for a little minute. But I recovered pretty quickly. I'm feeling better. Just been trying to work out more, and I hung out with a good friend of mine yesterday named Darrow, and basically, in short, for the past month, I've been trying to organize like a bit of a high school reunion. And Darrow, I found out yesterday, Josh, that I could use Darrow's house to host it. So we're doing like a 2-day thing. Someone already joked that I think that I'm organizing a fucking music festival, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it then.
Shit,
Fire
if
fest
that's
out
what
this
it is,
bitch.
that's better. I mean, at least you got a venue. That's like the hardest part normally.
Yeah, so he got his nice apartment
That's good. That's
in the
good.
Upper West Side of Manhattan, Upper East Side, and yeah, we got it for 2 days, and right now I'm just trying to gauge who's coming and everything. But I already got a lot more of a warm welcome from my graduating class than I was expecting, actually. So I'm trying to sort out a couple like little like dispute type things because not everybody's on the best of terms. But
Now, what? How many years have you guys been out of high school? Like,
this is the year that if you well 4 years out, so this is the year or the summer right after everyone would be graduating college if they had started
okay,
right after and
right.
went through and finished.
Well then, yeah, proper reunion.
Yeah, I think it's
Understood.
like yeah,
Understood.
that's like a good point to do so. There are people who know they can't make it, but they have interest, and they're like, "I hope you gotta do another one sometime so I can make it." So I'm like, "All right, yeah," like might make this
Of
like a
course. Any turnout's a good turnout for a first event.
yeah, and even then, like other things can be smaller and have like a big one every once in a while, but have small little reunion things a little bit
Yeah.
more like sprinkled in throughout, like little more frequent. But first, I gotta get this first shit under me before I start thinking about the future. Honestly,
Oh, for sure. For
yeah.
sure.
How about you?
Gotta see how the first one goes.
Have you ever had any sort of like reunion thing? Like
No,
this
not
thing?
yet. I think most schools in the area do like a 10-year reunion type thing. So
Hmm.
I mean, will I be attending it? I don't know. I don't even know if I'll be in the same area at the time, but if I am, then for sure. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't. But
Yeah.
yeah, no. I haven't been to any reunions. I mean, I see people from my class all the time, all around. So it's kind of weird, you know. It's not awkward or anything. It's just weird that we haven't done anything. Like our class wasn't like in any kind of turmoil, but we did have a bigger class. Schools around here get pretty packed. So I'm not expecting 600 people
Yeah,
to
exactly.
go somewhere. So it's just silly. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes complete sense. Yeah, for what my graduating class was only like 65 niggas, some shit.
well,
So
shit. I think I'm exaggerating with the number. I definitely don't think it was 600, but if I'm remembering right, we did have one of the biggest classes in a while. Like, whew, it was
yeah, I
definitely
mean,
over. I think it was definitely over 200. 200.
I mean, yeah, that's from my understanding, that's pretty typical with like more of a larger America. sort of thing where like schools and high schools tend to have like huge grades and shit. But
Yeah.
all right, so something that's kind of interesting, pretty funny, I think, that happened. I think within this past week is that Mia Khalifa came out in like some interview that I did not watch. That she had only made like what $12,000
12,000. Yes.
from
Nothing.
her from her
Nothingness,
entire porn career. Like that's the only money she
bro.
made.
Smack in the
And
face to me. In high school, I was 100% sure I wanted to be a porn star. Like 100% sure. I am 100% glad I did not choose to, especially as popular as Mia Khalifa was, and to only come away with 12,000. That's just insane. It's it's absurd almost. It's almost as if she didn't get any revenue from any of her, because I know she was a highly popular search for a while there. Like, I mean, come on,
apparently
anybody
she still
knows.
is. She's still like the second or top
And that's crazy.
on like Pornhub and only $12,000.
You know what? It makes me wonder. Do you think Kim K ever got any money from her
Ma-
sex tape? She's like the
Uh
number one person on Pornhub. Or she was for the longest time. Think she ever
maybe,
got anything?
but even if she didn't, she still did because that's what helped her name get out there.
True.
The tape.
And you know what? Honestly, Mia Khalifa could be porn because look at her now. I mean, she's
No,
probably making more money now doing YouTube and Complex and all that stuff.
100%. I think that it was still a net positive for her. It
Oh
has
yeah,
given her a platform, and I'm pretty sure
twelve,
but $12,000
thousand,
that's crazy.
12,000.
Like,
And
that
male
night,
porn stars make less than that, like
yeah.
less.
But no, honestly, this is not the norm. I don't think. I think she really just got fucked over. She
But
really got a
yeah,
really
and
bad
I think she had a
contract.
contract with Bang Bros, so it actually that shocks me that she got fucked up. It
I
really
mean,
does.
it doesn't only come down to Bang Bros. It comes down to whoever her manager or agent or whatever it
True.
was. They might have took a really big slice of the pie. They might have still gotten
Very big
paid as
possible.
a team. Like her and her team still might have got paid the normal amount. But
You know what's crazy?
whoever was supposed to make sure that she got a nice like chunk of the pie probably didn't do that.
I,
And I
I,
don't know. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know how she let this happen. But I mean, shit happens. I just find that shit hilarious that she had gone
she
through all
was
that nasty shit
yeah, all
and
that.
got
And it was
nice
crazy is
chump
like
change for
I'm
it.
pretty sure she got banned from her country, like her home country, only for
Uh,
12,000. Like
is she
that's
from like
crazy.
Lebanon or some
Yeah,
shit?
she's from Lebanon. They as soon as they saw her and she had I don't think it's a I don't think it's a hijab. I don't think that's what they call them. Or hijab. I don't think that's what they call them in Lebanon. I think they
She
call it
was
something
wearing
totally different.
some sort
But
of
she
like
something
headdress, some sort of
headdress,
like
and they were
cultural
like,
garb, and she
"You
likes to.
can't come here anymore." Yeah, like
And I don't blame them. That's a real slap in the face to to the culture too. She's over here like, oh yeah,
yeah,
getting nut on the hijab and shit. Like, okay, that's kind
yeah,
of wild, son.
crazy.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
plus I mean, she probably didn't want to go there anyway. Fuck, But
yeah, no, probably not. But
yeah.
her parents are also like linked with that. Like
Oh no, yeah, 100%. When
they
you start to
probably
do
take some
porn, that's a
flack.
decision. Yeah, that's a decision you make for your family as well. If anybody knows that you're related to these people, that they have to deal with that too. It's also a decision for your kids. Your kids got to live with, like if you want to have kids at some point, which I think me and you kind of talked about before, is like, nah, that's kind of like I ain't gonna be the one to be like, oh, you shouldn't be having kids. But I know if I was doing porn, I wouldn't want to have kids. That's like I feel
That's
like that goes hand in hand and be fucking in front of the whole world and shit like that, and have kids later. I'm not saying like you shouldn't have a normal life, but then again, not everybody supposed to have kids anyway. So I think a
true.
lot of people are having kids that shouldn't be having children anyway.
That's true.
And I,
Yeah,
and I think
no,
and
I
I think
think
and
it's
I
getting
think porn
crazy.
stars and I think porn stars go on that list with dysfunctional people with no money, people with a lot of life problems. Like
But
there's a
now
list of like people who are too old, people who are too young. There's a list of people, and I feel like porn stars are.
turn that though. Let's look at the other side. You got Piper Perry who had to become a porn star because her and her daughter would have been without if she didn't.
Hmm.
I think her child's dad got killed or something, and she had no income, and then she went into porn or something like that. Her story is weird, man. It's gruesome almost, but it's like,
Hmm.
she made the best of it, and now she's got a little bit of money under her, and still has a good contract here and there. So
I
I don't
think
know, man. It's
I think it
weird.
was
Porn
I
is
think it
weird.
was a good job at like flipping that situation, but 100% it's
She
still
could
not
do
the
it
best.
better.
That's still
Yeah.
not the best. That's not the best way. The thing is this, I feel like, and also I don't know all the ins and outs of her story, but I'd imagine that like, yo, you don't want to just be super dependent on one bread earner when you're raising a kid. Because if something were to happen, let's say, and you're saying that like her husband and like the baby daddy was killed, which is awful, and you have no like skills, you have no way of getting a job, then you're fucked. And you should be happy that porn is something that exists in the world where you have that outlet. Like, all right, last like this is my only chance. I could do porn. I'm
Right.
sexy, blah blah blah. I could just do that. That's like but like you're lucky that that's even the thing, because if you didn't, like if you're going to bring a kid to the world, both parents should be able to handle the situation on their own in the event that something happens to one of the other parents. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be in a situation that's that perfectly curated. I'm not saying that anybody in my family is. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that's the norm or whatever. I'm just saying that ideally you want to aim high when you're going to bring a person into the world in terms
That's
of
true.
preparation. The world
Definitely
already
true.
has so many people. It's not like you need to bring another one along,
Yeah, no, it's one of those situations that it's definitely a highly debated thing, but
Uh-huh.
um it's another reason why people are kind of, with pro-choice for sure. I mean, if you yourself don't feel ready for a child, there's options. I mean, there's good options, there's better options like adoption and whatnot, but a lot of people just they don't have the money to put into it, and they know that they don't, and they try to take care of it themselves. So I mean, yeah, I definitely think in the long run we got to start looking at situations like that because I mean, people do become parents on accident, total accident. It's
I feel like that's how it happens most of the time.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, yeah, most of the time probably, but there are
And
still those people that
and
are
not on some
planning
like
their
freak
children.
accident, you know what I mean? And like not on some
Yeah,
freak accident. I think kind of more similar, like kind of like from the way I was explaining I came about. My mom was just like, we knew what we were doing. We just wasn't necessarily sure that that we wanted to have a kid at the time. That's
right,
all it is. But it's one of those things, like it's one of those weird gray areas where start playing the field in a risky way because if it were to happen, that's a blessing. If it doesn't, it's cool. We're not necessarily
right.
looking for it, but we're in a weird place where like, all right, we'll see. We'll let Jesus take the wheel. Even though not really Jesus take the wheel, you're fucking with no protection. There's no Jesus involved. You're trying to have a kid, but I don't know. Some
Yeah,
like like
I mean, but the chance, it basically saying leave it up for chance,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
get
Because it's not a
that.
guaranteed thing. All right, so yeah, Mia Khalifa has no money. Everyone pray for her, even though honestly she's doing fine.
She's fine. She had no money. She's
I
good
mean,
now.
yeah, yeah. And she has like a
Complex is
husband or some
taking
shit.
care of her,
And
bro.
she has
She's
like a
good,
husband and
bro.
shit. Yeah, so she's
She's
doing
been
good.
alright.
One thing I will say though, closing thoughts on the thing. Maybe she only deserved $12,000 because her porn was pretty bad.
It is.
It's not good.
The body of work is terrible. It's really not that good, but
She's like
she was
squirming all the
cute
time.
and people liked her.
The song was good too. That Mia Khalifa. Do, do, do. Did you hear that before?
I've heard the song, yes.
I like the song. All right, so moving on to like, you want to talk about the Russian missile shit now,
You know what?
and then go to UFC?
It's pretty alarming. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and get that one through.
All right, so
It's pretty good.
shout out to a superior podcast as of now, but not as of the future. The Daily. It's a podcast that I listen to, not daily though, obviously. It's not that good, but they had an episode where they talked about I think it was their most recent episode as of today, which is August 8th, 2019. It's called Russia's Mystery Missile. And me and Josh both listened to the podcast, and they just talked
Mhm.
about this incident that happened in I think northern Russia, where there were signs that some sort of nuclear device had gone off,
Oh, yeah.
and it was
Vladimir been shooting, missing, and
Vladimir
missing.
Vladimir shooting.
You know,
um, And it was very alarming to the locals that lived in the area, as it fucking should be. And it's kind of
It seems Stalin-esque, doesn't it?
yeah, very Soviet type shit. USSR type vibes. But anyway, Russia tried to like brush it over, like, oh no, it was just something, and didn't mention anything like nuclear. And then they went in a little farther when questioned and pressed about it more by like the global press and Russian local press. I think they did admit at that point it was something nuclear and
Yep.
such.
Yep. No, it did.
But they were saying that it was not a weapon, and it was just some other bullshit
Which is
using like nuclear fuel, like type thing.
Vladimir one-ups them all and just flat out admits that he's working on superior nuclear weapon. Just
Well,
crazy.
that was the thing. That was I believe that was a public address that was made like weeks prior,
Right.
which is like,
But no one was
come
putting
on,
2 and 2
guys. Like,
together.
yeah, like, why are you guys lying about this? It's obvious that this is part of this nuclear test thing that Vladimir was in his bag and was announcing to everyone a couple weeks ago.
Exactly.
And these fucking weapons, they sound actually pretty cool, especially the first one.
Oh, they
It's
sound
scary
scary.
shit. It's scary shit. It's scary. But I have hope that I will not be nuked before I reach a very old age, and that this stuff is just cool. And
honestly,
or maybe I'm naive or just a little bit too hopeful.
I think we're all being a little too. I don't want to say I don't want to say like we're not being lenient because we do know, but in a way we are being a little too lenient. We have North Korea shooting missiles into the ocean. We have Russia shooting missiles into themselves.
Fucking
Russia's are undetectable and North Korea's are obviously seen. North
India
Korea could
is
just
trying
start
to
popping off.
true, and India's
And
trying to get
Russia
into
be
the
right
game,
behind them.
right?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure they are.
India is like very, very close, I believe,
Anyone
or
in
if not,
Asia should be trying to get into the game.
they already have nuclear weapons in India, which is kind of also scary because you know how they got all that beef with fucking Pakistan.
Oh yeah, no.
And then you got China, which is also, they're very well into the game.
And we're just sitting over here
I'm just sitting over here just like
chilling. We're talking about Trump, and then we're talking about how Israel's banning 2 Congress. Can we talk about the missiles that are being shot? Let's do that, and then we'll talk about the congresswomen that are banned from Israel. Which, I mean, I get it. We're trying to make a big deal, but Israel may not be living after so long because Russia has them on the hit list. So we don't want to worry too much, So
wait, who has them on the hit list?
Russia, they want that area. Iran is on their group. They want to get Iran what they want. They want to get Palestine what they want. They ain't worry about Ilhan Omar and Tlaib. Like they're gonna start shooting these missiles, and we're gonna be screwed. I don't know what we're gonna do about it, but it's definitely a situation that, like they said in the daily podcast, it is a situation that seems a lot like Chernobyl. They're trying to cover it up, but how can you cover
It's not
something?
as bad as Chernobyl though. Only
Oh,
7
no,
scientists
definitely not.
died. Only 7 scientists died. Like they knew what they were doing. They got themselves hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do the math equation correctly, and then they got blown
The
up.
trajectory went this way, and they couldn't control it. It's definitely interesting though. It can reach any, at least what Vladimir said, it's gonna be able to reach any corner of the Earth.
Yeah,
Scary.
that's the cruise missile that they're working on.
Scary.
Its code name is Skyfall.
Mm-hmm.
And, and yeah, it's gonna run on a nuclear reactor, which will fuel it and also allow it to blow up big time.
Who is Russia's enemy?
I mean, us and like anyone who isn't down with the commie shit.
You know what's crazy? I really haven't understood. Yeah, I know that's why we beef with them, but Why can't we just let them do their thing? I mean, we're letting them do their thing now. Why can't we just like completely just pull away and just be like, yo, you just do y'all thing?
I don't know. I think it's a matter of just like you gotta, not you gotta, but there's a thing of you want to have more balance in having as much control over other governments or like agreements and not treaties, but like basically you want to be buddy buddy with as many governments and be like the big bro to as many smaller governments that have resources in the world as possible. Because if Russia gets to make friends with everybody, then Russia gets all the good trade deals. Russia gets all the I mean, that's probably like the biggest thing out of it all. I would imagine off the top of my head is better trade deals, and they get more influence and they get to spread communism and such more and more around the world, which goes against those American values that we value
Of
so
course, of
much.
course, of course. It's
um,
insane though.
yeah, and it's just a constant game of chess of just trying to have as much political influence
Maybe
around the
England
world.
needs to get back into the mix and start doing things, man. Maybe that's
Yeah,
why the world's going crazy. It's going to shits because England's not controlling 93% of it.
England did have everybody under control. They all that shit calmed down.
We're
You
out
just
here
let
fucking up
England run the
now.
world. Yeah. All right, so that was the first missile. It's a cruise missile, which apparently is it's described as a low altitude missile that can like cut corners a bit. And don't over exaggerate in your head, people. All right, this is some like science fiction shit, but it's low
True.
altitude. It can fly through like mountain ranges and reliably not just crash into some shit. It can zigzag, and by zigzag, it's probably like it's not zigging and zagging every like 10 feet, probably more like 200, 300 feet. You might be able to
Yeah.
start changing direction by that point. You know what I mean? Like,
Therefore, it
it's
would be
not,
able to dodge any defense system,
yeah,
technically.
but basically, sort of thing is it's able to avoid a lot of defense systems. It's very hard to avoid getting hit by a cruise missile. And this cruise missile is also fueled by a nuclear reactor, like I said before, which will allow it to hit any point in the globe. That's typically been like a limiting factor in long distance um, nuclear weaponry, that you can't reach that far with the weapon. But if it's powered by a nuclear reactor, then it in theory could go on for days, months, years, because nuclear reactors is how they work. um but I also imagine that it would be very hard for something like that to fly for a day, for like days and stuff. But hell, if it could get a full day or two, it'll reach wherever it needs to go, I'd imagine, in the globe, and blow it to fucking smithereens. So that's
Yeah.
one of them. Um, then you have another one, which is like, which one? We didn't get a nickname for it from the Daily Podcast, but
Nah.
it's a missile that flies at Mach 5 speeds, which is
That's
five times the
scary.
speed of sound.
So
And
scary.
it also flies. It also flies somewhat low altitudes. Most of these long intercontinental ballistic missiles fly actually, like in terms of altitude, they're technically in space.
Yep.
They hit a trajectory where they're in space and they come back down. And with that amount of like trajectory and everything, all defense systems have been designed, especially American ones at least, to intercept things as they come from space. But this Mach 5 missile doesn't fly up that high. It probably flies up, I don't know, somewhere between um like the tallest building in the world in Dubai and airplanes, I would
Hmm.
imagine. I don't fucking know
And
exactly.
it's kind of
So it's a lower trajectory, so it's able to, get
it's
where it
probably gonna be
needs
a
to
short
go.
range defense system type thing, and it seems like something that could be possibly aimed toward the surrounding areas, but
Maybe Alaska at the
still,
farthest, probably.
yeah, probably Alaska at the farthest. And Mach 5 speeds is really, I mean, that's really you really wouldn't have anything you could do about that.
Yeah,
Now,
it'll get
it,
there really fast. It'll get to where it needs to go fast, though.
like you said, with the missiles having higher trajectories, though, like normal ballistic missiles having higher trajectories, is to keep from it dropping too fast. But if it's going off Mach 5, it's still, and if it's at a lower trajectory, it still could hit the ground pretty fast, but still about where you're aiming at, I guess. The thing is, it's still obviously in test. I don't think they have any of these things done, but
No, it's probably all in the workings type. I mean, obviously they're not
still
ready. They
crazy.
just fucking blew up 7 of their own scientists with one of
Oh,
these
of
fucking
course
things.
not. Of course
So
not.
like, it's not ready.
Could
It's
you
just
imagine
that. It's just
Trump
that.
having like I don't know, like him having the knowledge of some of the things we're working on, just telling everybody like
I mean, that sounds like some shit he would do. But
it is seem like it's
I
something,
feel
but
like I feel like a lot of people in the government don't tell him things.
that's what I'm saying.
Just
Like
so he can
I
keep
feel like
quiet.
he's way out of the loop. Like Vladimir runs his country. It's been obvious he's been running the country for so long, but come on now. He has the balls to just be like, I'm working on this. What y'all gonna do? And it's like,
I I think it's a thing of though too because all the trade agreements that we have with them are kind of like fizzled out. A lot of them are expired,
oh, we just
or
cut one. We just cut one recently.
yeah, and Trump's pulling out of like some of them or some shit. Russia's
The
pulled out of
testing
some, I
one.
think,
It's the
and
testing
then
one.
there's this mere fact that Russia's been violating a couple of them for a while, and we haven't been like no one's been calling them out on it, and that's one of the good points that I will admit that Trump is making, that we don't need to be holding ourselves back to these agreements that Russia is following. We made these things during the Cold War with those niggas. If they're not listening to it, why the fuck are we? We need to come up with new agreements, which is what Trump is saying. But the only thing is that, like the Daily Podcast did admit, they haven't had any sit downs though. You've been president for 3 years, still have not talked to Vladimir Putin in person and have some sort of like renegotiation. You're
And
bullshitting though.
I think that's all about the situation with him in the Russia investigation to begin with. I don't think he actually has the I don't think he can sit down with Vladimir without an issue arising. Most
Hmm.
people are already way too deep into it. I think Trump's advisors, his close advisors, the ones that aren't so, pro the government, more pro Trump, I don't think they're gonna allow him to sit down with Putin and have any type of negotiation or conversation at that matter.
Yeah, so it seems like um whoever's going to come to some sort of new agreements with Russia and other countries, I think like we need some new like world agreement between all the other countries that have since become nuclear powered since the Cold War.
Oh
It's
boy,
gonna have to be the next president of the United
you
States,
can't put those people in the same room.
which is tricky. Yeah, a lot of them don't fuck with each other, I think.
Iran and
Yeah, but I mean, it's a discussion that has to happen. Um, even if it has to happen through like the UN or something. I don't know.
does
It's
Cuba
something
have
that
missiles?
I don't fucking know. Do they have money for missiles?
Shit, Cuba had money.
Fucking Russia might just gift them their old ones. They might have some old ones from the Cold War.
Those don't do anything. Those atomic missiles that
I mean, those shits will
fizzle
do
out.
enough since they're not far from America. They get the
Oh
fucking
yeah,
that's
no,
the
no, no
that's
lie.
what the whole Cuban Missile Crisis thing was,
Of course,
about. Like, just blow up Florida, and we love our Florida for some reason. All right, and
it'll
then
be underwater soon.
then there's the last weapon, which is it's like this. It's an autonomous submarine like missile torpedo thingy, and it's called Poseidon, which is like really badass.
That's
Kind of
dope.
scary though.
That's dope.
But yeah, basically it's just like a kind of like a something that they could put in the ocean, and it'll just be able to do its own thing for who knows how long, because it runs on nuclear energy as well. And it's an interesting thing because, like, let's say in the event that Russia is destroyed and decimated, this it can be sent a little signal, boop boop boop. Oh, Russia's down. Make sure you go ahead and sink Manhattan, and it'll swim its ass into the East River and take out Manhattan. You know what I mean? Type of thing. Like it can do its own thing. Or assuming that it even fires underwater, I'd imagine it doesn't, because that's how they used to test nuclear weapons back in the day. America did a lot of testing with weapons underwater because it would condense, like the ocean is. So I'd
Hmm.
imagine like it stays underwater, but it'll come to the surface and fire off short range ballistic missiles, like ballistic nukes. That's what
Which
I would
isn't
imagine.
which isn't bad. I mean, it's still
No,
a
I think
scary idea, but
I think that's more scary than just ramming into the side of a fucking country and trying to blow up the. I feel like that wouldn't be very effective. I think that's what it does. I believe that's what it does. It'll come to the surface, open up the hatch, and fire off fucking short range ballistic nuclear missiles. And it can do that right in the coast, like it could pull it right to the East River and take out all of New York City and then go back on the water and go about his business type thing. That's what it sounds like to me. That's some real science fiction, like scary shit. And it's like, yeah, because like it could just do it on its own. All you gotta do is just send it the thing. Like it's not like manned by anybody. It's an unmanned thing.
and
So yeah, I think it's just kind of nutty, but also kind of cool. I'm surprised it hasn't been in a movie yet, like that type of idea. That seems really, I don't know.
or just a thing already. It seems like science.
That too. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these like ideas are much harder to like
I mean, your
make
Tesla
happen.
cars
Break it
are
down.
moving themselves. Why do we not
Yeah,
have
why are we not making
unmanned submarines?
unmanned nukes or whatever? But I guess it's a thing of just like that's cool, but we don't want to put a nuke on a robot until we know this robot works, which makes sense
True, very true.
because it can launch that thing. It can fucking like I don't know, not like short circuit, but it can get fucked up. Maybe it can get uploaded to some sort of like malware while it's out there in the ocean, and then it starts firing off, and then Russia takes the blame for it because a couple cities are gone, and it was a Russian device that did it, but it wasn't even Russia that did it. So yeah, but I don't know. We're talking a whole bunch of headcanon too, because we don't work for the military. We're not politicians. We're not political experts. We're not political scientists, and we aren't engineers. We don't know nothing about nukes.
Not a thing.
We're just two niggas with some ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we at right now.
But
Literally.
yeah. So that's what's happening in Russia and in world nuclear news, everyone.
The sky's falling.
The sky's falling and Poseidon is under our ass.
Yeah, true.
So let's get into this final topic, which is just well, it's a UFC thing in general. Because I first want to talk about Conor McGregor smacking up that old man.
Yeah. No, for sure. That man.
What do you think about it?
I mean, we gotta be real, man. Conor been on the downfall, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we lose to Khabib. But before that, and I'm hoping I'm getting my events right. He's been a loose cannon forever. He was just throwing chairs and shit at buses and come on. This ain't new for
100%.
Conor, man.
100%. Yeah, Conor's
This ain't
been
new.
on his I mean, that's always been his thing, being like loud and brash, hot head a bit, kind of disrespectful, pushing.
We don't gotta beat an old man's ass though.
But
he ain't really beat him though. He just
there's lines. Yeah, like there's lines, and I've been a fan of his for a while, but he's starting to really cross these lines. It's just sort of thing. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm a fan of yours, but any repercussions that come from the bullshit you do, I throw my hands up. I don't feel bad for you anymore. Like the whole throwing the trolley at the bus.
That's what it was. It was a trolley.
The really, really disrespectful shit that he said to Khabib and like about his family, about his father, about his religion, about his people, about his history, his culture. It's kind of like, all right, yeah, you crossing that line. And just shit in general. Shit he said to Mayweather a bit was also some of that shit might have been a little bit like racially targeting. But just fast forward, yeah, like you lose to Mayweather, which isn't a big deal, but then you lose to Khabib. No, get your ass whooped by Khabib.
And then Khabib did come back into the ring and do some extra shit.
Yeah, but at that point, it's like that's Khabib's only.
I mean, I'm not giving that. I'm not giving that to him.
I'm not really mad at Khabib for that. Plus, he just hopped out the ring and didn't actually even do nothing. Like he like attacked Dylan Dennis, but nothing really happened. The real brawl, excuse me, was Khabib's brother and trainers or whatever, like jumping Conor because they got some swings and they didn't hit him clean or nothing, but like they actually made contact. Really, the whole Dylan Downs thing, nothing really came of that. But I don't know. But back to the Conor thing at hand. Apparently, this thing had happened a couple months ago, like in April.
Oh,
And I guess the media just threw it under the rug. No one really gave a
you know
fuck.
what?
No one really talked about it. And I think it was
The
because it
date
was like
on it
Irish
did
media.
seem,
And I think it was like Irish media and stuff like that. So no one really wanted to like put out any bad press, I guess, on Conor for the thing. But I don't know what it is. But yeah, right now it's becoming a big deal. And they asked Khabib how he felt about it. Khabib was like, why basically in short, like this guy's a fucking idiot. He's too much of a loose cannon. Why are you swinging on an old man? And the media tried to hide this, but now it's come out because this is their favorite boy, blah, blah, like all that type of stuff. And then he was kind of just saying like Conor needs to get help. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of wild. Apparently the way this shit went down, right? It was like Conor was offering everybody
whiskey. He was
yeah,
offering shots, and
yeah,
guy
he's offering shots of his proper whiskey, and the guy was like, I don't want no shot from you. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was like, you lost to the Russian. And Conor was like, what? And like kind of like tapped him on the side of his head.
Yeah,
That
he
was
didn't
fine.
do too much. He did hit him. Us
Yeah, he hit
made
the old dude though.
contact.
I
He
was
didn't
like,
do all that.
why you do that, bro? Could have just threw a drink on him. And even then, just tell him to suck your dick
Or
and
just
just move
walk
on.
away, man.
Just tell him to suck your dick and move on. Like, that's it. Like, okay, fine, you're upset.
Maybe the old man did want smoke, but it was not that serious.
Old man wasn't even looking at the nigga, bro. It was just Conor's bugging. He has a son. He needs to lead a little bit more by example. And like as right now, you're not a winner. You're really far from move. Your
Maybe you
fight
know
with
what? Maybe that's
Khabib,
Irish culture.
his fight for like his fight. Well,
Let's be. I'm
maybe. I
not
mean,
calling. I don't know Irish culture. I'm just saying maybe that they are always portrayed that way.
the only Irish nigga I know, kid I went to school with way back in the day, he was kind of wild. Yeah,
But was he a U.S. Irish?
No, I mean he was born and raised here, but he had an accent. The way he talked, the way he put his sentences together was quite Irish. Mom was Irish
He
as
probably
fuck.
was first. He probably was first generation.
First generation, yeah, he was.
Yeah. All right. Well then, yeah.
All his brothers and stuff still live out there. So
Yeah. No. I mean, hold on, man. The way they're portrayed, or like I would say the way they're portrayed,
but they portray in the way that I like from talking to Irish people. Like that's the only Irish kid I had as a
pretty
friend.
tough.
But I've talked to other ones, and they all kind of like, yeah, you kind of
Tough brash cookies.
yeah. But I don't know. He needs to do better. That's what. Oh, oops! I kicked my desk. He needs to do better. All right, so moving on to the actual UFC event. Let's try to get through these.
Yep.
First fight was Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa. Going into this fight, I was rooting for Yoel. I'm not sure if Josh had anybody. He was.
Nope. It was kind of just stalemating on that one. Just
and boy, oh boy, this is the fight I was the most excited about for tonight, actually, and it did not disappoint. I am very, very satisfied with how it went. Not necessarily with the decision at the end. I'm definitely not satisfied with that, but satisfied with how it went. It was a really good fight. For everybody who doesn't know, Yoel Romero, you should look him up. It's like a 42-year-old Cuban wrestling Olympic champion. He started MMA pretty late in his life, and he has this fighting style where he like kind of paces himself, kind of like a predator. Kind of chills out for a little while, and he waits for an opening. He just fucking explodes. He's so athletic, so fast, so dynamic. His movements. He's very, very impressive fighter to watch. He's fucking bald. He has a big head, and he has fused disc in his neck. So he's just like thick necked and his shit, and he can't turn his head, and he has big traps, and he's just.
It's almost like watching SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's like watching SpongeBob, but like in the episode when he got jacked, when he had the fake muscles, and Betty had the episode when him and Patrick fought, and they were both brolic and shit, and they were wearing each other's underwear. That's what watching this fight was, because fucking Paulo Costa and Yoel, they both look like two UFC fighters who are they're just on the juice, like they just drink it every morning. These roided up
It
boys.
seemed like a heavy hitter fight almost. All
Yeah, it was definitely like two. Like they're two very similar
they're
fighters in that.
solid, bro.
They follow that same niche sort of. Paulo's
It's a
more of like
couple.
a banger, like a fighter up top, and like kind of like I guess constant pressure. Whereas Yoel is kind of like he waits, kind of like he's dancing, like waits and waits, and he explodes on you, and he'll take you down and he'll just fuck you up. Um, but yeah, the fight was really good. I feel like through all the rounds though. Oh, the first round was crazy. I was FaceTiming someone, but I just was not giving them. It was really hard to like split my attention, so I had to get the fuck off that call before the second round started. But excuse me, first round they were hitting each other with bombs. Like you saw that?
Yeah, honestly,
Yoel got
and
dropped, and then
you all got dropped, but it
Costa got
seemed
dropped
as
too.
yeah, I was gonna say it seemed like it went back and forth for most of it. Honestly, there was only I want to say after the first round though. I mean, it
It's been
seemed like
slowed down.
yeah, it seemed like Yoel was really putting in most of the work, and
That's what I was feeling.
it kind of seemed that way, but then kind of throughout the fight, I could see where Costa was really just keeping the energy. Because I mean, if Yoel was putting as much as he was putting in, at least what it looked like, there's no way. And still, at the end, Costa, didn't. It definitely didn't look like he had it any kind of easy, but he did keep in there. And I will say, as long as he was keeping in there, I think that's where he was gonna keep up with that fight for the most part. And
Yeah,
for the most part, he did. So,
I think a big thing was the constant advancing pressure that Paulo was putting on Yoel. Because Yoel was moving back and was eating a lot of shots, but
yep.
he was like willingly eating the shots, you know?
And
And I know that that's a very subjective part of the judging for me, because he seemed like he was willingly eating them and trading back and forth with Paulo, but also seeming unfazed. Whereas Paulo, I feel like he was slowly gearing to hit that decline.
yep,
If it was a round, like
definitely.
if it was a 5 round fight, I think Yoel would have fucked him up in the
He
like
would
in
have
the
lost.
next
Yeah,
round. In the next round, I think Paulo would have lost. He would have gassed
yeah,
out, and Yoel would have put him out.
it would
But
have been over for him.
Yoel was playing this like dance of like eating shots, taking damage, and
And did they only got down on the ground? I think
they only gave Yoel one takedown, which I don't
yeah, they
agree
only got
with.
down on one takedown, and
But I thought he got two. In my eyes, it like he got two, but I guess one of them didn't count because they didn't stay down long enough, or he didn't secure a position. I
yeah,
guess.
I don't think he had position secured. Because I say I don't think they had got any takedowns past round two.
No, not in the
Right.
third round. There was no takedowns, and Paolo got one takedown as well, which I also don't remember seeing. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just bugging. I need to see that fight again. That's a fight I want to watch over and over. Um, and Paolo was like swollen and bleeding by the end of the fight. Yoel just
Yeah,
had like a nookie under his
he
left
definitely
eye.
looks like he got the beating. It definitely looks like he got more of the beating.
Yeah,
Look at
Yoel
him
was putting in some really
bloody.
good boxing too. The like the uppercuts.
Yep, the uppercuts were hitting. They were connecting every time. I think he connected like two or three of them in that third round, and it's just like
Yeah,
that definitely if they were good enough, they should have tired him out. And like you said, if they would have went to round, it would have been over for Costa. It wouldn't have lasted.
yeah. But unfortunately, it was a 3 round fight, and Paulo Costa got the decision.
Yep.
Um, Either way, I do think it was very close, so I'm not mad about it. What I don't like though is that it was a unanimous, not a split decision.
It
So I'm
shouldn't have
like,
been. It should have been
because I'm
split.
like, damn, not one of the judges thought that Yoel won, but I was like, all right, fuck it then. Oh well.
Should have been split for sure. I do agree with that.
I don't know if you heard, but Yoel probably. I think he's probably gonna like he might have like one or two more fights and then retire because he's got
Yeah.
paid in full. He got $27 million in a lawsuit against a supplement company because the supplements had some banned substance in it, and it cost him some months or whatever of fighting.
Mm,
My man won 27 million. That's more money I think that's more
27.
money than he made throughout his entire athletic career.
He could save that money and go on about his business.
Yep, you could just call it a day because he's 42. Fuck it, bro. You're a legend. You kicked ass. That's right. You never. I don't think he's ever gotten the title, so take it. But it's like
Do
it's
people
fine.
feel
Like he
like
came
they
into
can
the
live?
game maybe old,
Do people
huh?
feel like they can't live off 27 million anymore?
I don't know what he feels like. He's a very like religious dude. He's from Cuba. I think he could be like, all right, yeah, 25 million is good. He could start business with that. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, for sure.
Either
For
way,
sure.
he's one of my favorites ever.
Invest.
But now I'm definitely a big fan of Paulo Costa.
That's good.
Because even though I don't think he won, he was putting in some fucking work.
He definitely looked nice, man. I thought they were both very solid.
All right, so next fight, Nate Diaz in his return after being gone from the octagon in 3 years versus Anthony Pettis. And going into this fight, I was really like, I don't know. I really don't know. I know Nate Diaz is a motherfucker, him and his brother. But Anthony Pettis has been improving, been fighting a lot better. And he also might really surprise a lot of people because he's been doing that. I just dropped my pen. And I didn't really have a favorite for this one. How about you? Did you have?
Not really. I wanna say I was kind of leaning towards Nate Diaz, but at the same time, it was just a beef match. I just wanted to see what was really with it.
Yeah, because these two boys were beefing leading into this fight. I think it was because years ago, and like over the history of these two guys' career, Nate Diaz has always like said like, oh, I could fuck Anthony Pettis up, but they never fought, and Anthony Pettis just like, just felt disrespected, probably something like that. By the way, Nate Diaz and him fought, and it was really good. Nate Diaz did a really good job at controlling the engagements, keeping things close up in that weird, closer range, like dirty boxing, sloppy, dirty boxing sort of thing that he likes to do. Him and his brother. And he just kept chipping away at Anthony, slowly but surely, and really dominated the stand-up throughout like the whole fight, I feel. And then there was a point though, or a couple points where they got down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I think the fight really started to come alive. They were a lot more even on the ground than I think some people expected. Even though like they're both pretty good Brazilian jiu-jitsuists. So, but I guess Nate Diaz, he has more. I think he may have more.
He's like a scrap dog, man.
Yeah, that's where they fight.
Fighter.
They fight very scrappy.
He's always just been so scrappy, man.
Like he'll throw a punch with his right hand, miss, and don't even pull it all the way back. He'll pull it back like 5 inches, and then whip it right back at you as like a backhand. Like they'll just keep like, and like they're all like nice firm hits. Like they'll swell you up, but they won't knock you out. And he didn't throw in any slaps this fight, but yeah, I don't know. There isn't too much to say about this one. Anthony Pettis didn't show up much. He didn't.
He really didn't. It was a letdown.
Yeah, he didn't really show too many flashes of
After Nate Diaz being on so long, you would think he would kind of just try to push him to the bone. Like, no, it didn't make a difference.
Yeah, I think they were saying that he might needed to implement a lot more leg kicks, but he tried that and I think he hurt his leg a little bit.
Yep, it definitely.
And then it wasn't there anymore. I would think side kicks for someone like Nate Diaz because he kind of just like lumbers around. He's not very sharp. He doesn't like dip in and out with like sharp footwork like someone like Conor McGregor may or whatever. I don't know if you've ever seen either one of the Diaz brothers like be letting their feet and come in and out. So like a nice side kick, like a nice persistent side kick to the midsection, side kick to the face to keep the distance. I think Anthony Pettis should have took a note from fucking I can't remember his name, but his nickname is Wonder Boy, who he beat up. I think he should have took a note from him. Had some more like light footwork, be in and out sort of thing. It's only 3 rounds. I think you could try to do that, but oh well, didn't work out.
Yeah. It was a big comeback, big win.
What I did like though at the end.
Which one?
With Nate when he called out Jorge Masvidal or whatever.
Oh, yep.
Sorry, I'm fucking your name up. But yeah, that's great. That's a fight I want to see.
It's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. Yeah, it was dope. If that was the guy who fucking one shot knee kick sniped Shaggy during that event. Yeah, that was yeah. And that guy's he's another like scrappy badass. So
Yeah, so it should be decent to watch. I mean,
yeah.
watching Nate Diaz isn't like the best. I don't always enjoy it. I really don't. I'd be 100 with you, but he is, like I said, he's scrappy. I mean, for real, he's just like watching. It's like watching a high school fight. It's like watching a high school fight, but as a grown man, but actually knowing what you're doing, and then someone's just
Yeah, he's
like,
really
yeah,
interesting. He's just this weird, like scrappy guy, and just like him and his brother. It's like, yo, these
yeah,
motherfuckers, like they're annoying because like, why are you doing so good? You don't look like you know how to fight.
nope.
You do
And then
like
they
you're
just
throwing
go
these
through,
little
and then they
bullshit
know what they're
punches.
doing. They got extra
Yeah.
stuff that, like you said, like they're both. He was versing Brazilian, and he showed it. I mean, he's got good ground movement. He was keeping up. I thought personally, if you've been out for 3 years?
hmm
If you've been out for 3 years, you shouldn't be able to, keep the stamina. But definitely shout outs to training on him, to be
yeah,
honest. Shout outs to training.
I think Anthony Pettis had a little glimmer of hope where he could have tried to steal the fight at the end of the third round when he got off the ground from Anthony. I mean, from Nate Diaz, he got to get up, but he
Right.
fucked up because you remember when Nate Diaz baited him into coming back into the fucking ground game with him?
Mm-hmm.
When Nate was on his back and had his feet up and was like, come, come, come. It's like, no, Anthony, don't go down there. Like I said it. And he goes back down there. Nate just burns the time off the clock and he secured the win. It was like, no, you're super behind. You haven't won a single round. And you're losing this round. You need to stand him up and knock him the fuck out at the very
Yeah.
last second. Because otherwise, yeah, the fight was over. So Anthony fucked that one up.
Tough
So
times,
now,
man.
now we got the main event, which is Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. Yeah,
Yep.
this shit was a really good fight.
Big names.
Yeah, that two big names. I have a good story here. Daniel Cormier looked like he's trying to do his final lap. Walk away from the sport as one of the greatest to ever do it. He still will be, even though the results weren't in his favor tonight.
No.
And Stipe will walk away, I think, at some point as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, heavyweight to do it. And yeah, this is a really good fight. Daniel Cormier knocked him out last time they fought. It was kind of like in a clinch transitional grappling boxing sort of thing, which that same shot landed a couple of times tonight, but not with the same level of severity as it did in their first
Nope.
fight. Yeah, so
Not enough in the tank, not enough in the bag.
yeah, you saw a lot of Daniel Cormier's hand hand trapping and such, kind of like Wing Chun esque.
Yep.
Yeah, that he was doing, and I pointed out to you guys. Well, it's like, yeah, look, at the start of every engagement,
Trying to play, and it
he's trying to put
it's really
hands or
smart.
steep, yeah, to
It's
like
really smart because
shorten the range.
the range between the two of them. I mean, you got a shorter Cormier and a bigger Miocic, but it's just like he's keeping in. He kept getting those punches in, and kept getting that, like trapping the hands and then getting the punch in. But like we all kind of notices is leaving them open, and I think that's probably where he kind of started to mess up a bit, because then I think Miocic started to catch up on it, and then taking advantage, and I mean, the first few body shots that he had got landed in, I think ended up being the demise for real, because he realized, okay, I can play this game with him where he can keep going for this, hand trap and punch, but I can get him right back, and then I can make something happen. So I think it was
Mhm.
very good acknowledgement from Miocic to notice
Yeah,
that.
yeah, very good, like mid mid game adjustment sort of thing. Like that
Yep,
was a very good
yep.
coaching thing. I didn't hear his corner say nothing about it either.
I don't. I think that was all him.
That
I
seemed like
really
that's
do think that
very
was all
much
him.
all him. Like he saw the shit. He saw the opening. He saw like, yo,
Yeah. And
um,
and
mhm.
Cormier's corner warned him on that too. Warned him, hey, watch out, keep your hands off him, because I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been a straight knockout, But
But yeah, so that was one thing. That's one of like Daniel Cormier's like strategies. that was working pretty well for him. But one of those things, I think, like, as the fight goes on, you want to do that a little bit less because the thing is too, what was allowing him to survive in the early rounds is the fact that you have a full tank. You're able to,
Right.
dodge those incoming counterattacks with your head movement. As the fight went on, and him and Stipe started to get a little more tired. He also did a very good job at out wrestling Stipe, which I wasn't.
Oh, of course.
I was surprised. But anyway, as the fight's going on, you and Stipe are both getting more tired. Stipe's getting a bit lumped up because I ain't gonna front. He was winning this fight 100%. He was outboxing Stipe with that hand trapping, with the movements.
Stipe looked like he was taking a beating.
Like with the overhooks, the underhooks, to control the arms, and then throwing in punches. Like it was like very high level dirty boxing for someone who is shorter, trying to fight someone much bigger than him.
Had
but
this went the distance, I think Stipe lost in decisions.
Oh yeah, if this had went to like decisions, Stipe would have fucking lost. But Stipe knew, was holding out, was waiting, was playing the long term game. It seemed like, and in that round, he went to the body like fucking 10 to 15 times before he finished him.
Oh man!
Each time, just combination, finish it off with a body shot, boom, right there. Again, another one. Just kept hitting the same spot. And what Jardy, our good friend who was watching with us, was like, why doesn't he go to the body on the other side? And I was like,
nope. Keep working on one side.
You start working on one side because you make that one side so damn weak he can't bear it no more.
Oh man!
Below on it and he'll be in pain. And then the other thing is this too, on the right side of your body, by like around the back of your ribs, on the bottom, that's where your liver is. That's the weak spot. That's the spot that takes people out in boxing. That and that's one of the disadvantages that southpaws have because their right side is forward. So that liver shot is a little bit more there in a way because it's still not too hard to like take that lead hand and dip your elbow down there. You know what I mean? But then your face is open. But yeah. So yeah, he just kept hitting him with those liver shots, trying to get to the liver. But he kept pounding him in the same spot, and then he hit him with one in the final round. He hit Daniel Cormier with one. And Cormier kind of like noodle legged. It definitely was starting to hurt because Daniel Cormier was keeping his arm lower. But each shot, his arm went down like a centimeter, another centimeter, like while he was in guard. And they're doing their little dances, like they're moving around. His hand was just getting a little lower. And he winced on like the third to last one. And Steven was like, oh, I got this fat motherfucker. Threw another one, hit the motherfucker. Then he was like, his leg like winced. And Stipe hit him with that right hand, crack right in his face, and then just started lighting him up on that as he just like started lighting him up, and his legs just gave out from under him. He just died right there in front of him. That was a boss way to knock a nigga out.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, just great mental to figure out the game plan, and then also capitalizing on that. Like soon as you realized he had him like wavering, that was perfect. It was perfect. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate because, like I said, I think for sure Cormier had the fight in the bag if it went all the way to the end to the decisions. But great play, like just great mind presence, honestly. And then also just great capitalization. I mean, it is a heavyweight fight. One punch can normally take something right out of the, just take someone out and just end it. So, I mean, if I remember right, like I was saying before the fight, I've actually only seen so many. I haven't actually seen a Miocic fight, but I had heard the name. I kept hearing the name, and it was just, I mean, it seemed like something that would have happened. I mean, I've kept hearing that name. I haven't seen anything of him, but I have heard that name a lot. Heavyweight fighters and most fighting, never really surprises. So it was pretty good. Pretty good fight. I enjoyed watching it.
Oh shit, Nate Diaz. Like, okay, let's talk about the ending and like the post fight stuff with Stipe thing. I just want to talk about it real quick. For one, it was really funny when Yoel came over and like kissed Paolo. I wonder if they're gonna run it back. They may not. I don't think it's. I don't want them running back because I think up front I'm a little scared for Yoel because he's just getting older. So if they run that shit back in like 6 months. Paulo Costa might be just that much better and then knock his old ass out. I don't want that to happen. Then Nate Diaz, Anthony Pettis. I don't think they're gonna run back. I think Anthony Pettis is gonna move on to somebody else. Nate Diaz is probably gonna fight Jorge or George or I don't know the dude's name, but he's pretty kick ass. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. And as far as Daniel Cormier and Stipe, that's interesting. Of course, Stipe's going to try to protect his belt probably for a while. Daniel Cormier might still retire. I don't know. Or hell, they might push for Daniel Cormier, Stipe, Part 3, which would be pretty cool. Because it's 1-1.
It could be Part 3.
It's 1-1.
But then I wouldn't want to see Cormier go even worse, go out lower than what it is.
True, but it could happen to Stipe too. Stipe could lose and be like, yeah, bitch, turns out I am better than you. But I don't know. Daniel Cormier might not want a repeat of John Jones' situation where John Jones busted his ass 2 times. And it's like, all right, do you really want to run it back a 3rd time? Like, of course, Stipe and Daniel Cormier don't have nearly as much beef as John Jones and Daniel Cormier did. So it doesn't hurt as much, but I think sorry, excuse me. I can imagine Daniel Cormier wanted to avoid any sort of like 2 situations like that in his career where like there are these 2 men who are just better than me. I couldn't do nothing about it. Even though I'm such a hard worker, I'm so respected, I'm so respectable, this, then, the third. There's these 2 guys who just are kryptonite. But I don't know. Either way, Daniel Cormier was talking to his daughter or son or something like that after the fight. Was telling him not to cry. He had his son. It was a really cute moment. I'm seeing it here on Twitter right now. And Stipe's dance after the fight. You remember that?
It was a river dance.
Yeah, man, that shit was funny.
It was a nice river dance. It was interesting, man. I thought he was foreign. I didn't know he was straight from in states, but whatever. Definitely interesting. I don't know, bruh. I don't know if I'm a fan of the river dance. But when I last saw a river dance, man, as a celebration was a football player. I don't remember who did it. It was back in like 2009, bro. Like way far back. What's the fascination with river dances, man? You know how to do a river?
Yeah, I can do that shit, son. I'll be river dancing off in this motherfucker. I gotta do that little leg.
Did a river dance, bro? I don't think I have. I don't think that's me. I have to try it.
Then you call me. I don't know. It's also fun to see. Like, okay, this is fucked up, but it's kind of fun or funny at least to see him in his times of like turmoil because his face, bro. The nigga had the boogers coming out his nose and shit when he's laying there, and he got knocked out.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And also when he got hit with that punch, the fucking spit flew out his mouth.
Oh boy,
that shit was so funny.
It was crazy. The way he was laying, bro. The way he got knocked down, though. I mean, like
his legs collapsed.
Legs was all
over him.
collapsed. He's
leaning up against the fence.
He didn't know what. He was just there.
This is pretty interesting. So, do you remember how I was like, and the announcers were like, it looks like, and Jardy peeped it too, that Anthony Pettis' leg, it seemed like it was like fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
He just posted a picture of his foot. His ankle is swollen.
I mean, they said that his ankle was gonna swell up. The way he landed on it, he looked like he had turned it or twisted it or something.
And he said, at Nate Diaz, you have a hard ass head, homie. Yeah, so he did fuck up his foot. Yeah, because it was really mysterious to me. Like, yo, you need to be throwing more kicks in that fight, but I don't know. I guess that's what happened. He threw the leg kicks and fucked his shit up. John Jones has been in his bag apparently. Hold up.
Is a fight coming soon?
For what? John Jones?
Yes.
Oh, nah, I don't think so. There's nothing planned yet. Nah, I'm saying he was in his bag talking shit after Stipe got. I mean, after Daniel Cormier got knocked the fuck out, of course, because he hates that nigga. He said, Stipe is hands down the greatest heavyweight of all time. I have nothing else to say. And he lied because he had 3 more tweets. Nigga said, now can we stop playing games with these pound-for-pound rankings already? Because on the pound-for-pound rankings, Daniel Cormier was ranked like number 1 or 2 or some shit in the whole UFC. Yeah, and John Jones is like 4 or 5 or some shit.
So he's asking for a recount, bro.
So John's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, how you gonna tell me this nigga got beat twice is better than me? Nothing has happened. I still haven't lost since then. What are you talking about? He's better than me. I've not been beaten since the time I fucked him up last. So
hey, bullshitting, my man, John.
Yeah. And he said, I guess losses don't matter when you're getting paid so much on the front end. Ooh, even the last tweet. Awesome night of fights, best card of the year so far. I think I'm gonna have a glass of wine. This nigga is right. I bet you he was cheering so loud when Stipe rocked that milk the shake motherfucker. All right, let's wrap this motherfucker up. Let's end this one here.
Yeah.
I think this is a good one. I really like this. Any closing thoughts on anything we talked about today?
Man, people be safe. For real. We out here. If you see the signs, if you hear the whistles, it's Russia. All right. It's not us. It's Russia.
It's Russia.
Area 51. Oh. Don't forget Area 51 is coming up soon, guys. Get ready to go.
Don't miss it. We'll be there. Not actually.
Not really. Nope. Mm-mm.
But if you're there, you can
let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We'll there's probably be some comment section somewhere for this thing. And we'll probably we should launch like an Instagram or a Twitter account probably. You could tweet at us, hit us up, let us know. Send us your selfies and stuff when you go out there.
Gotta get that.
Stay hydrated and enjoy those alien butt cheeks, y'all. Peace.